Hi, welcome back. Today I want to do a video about my audio processing steps that I go through when I record with my Lumix S5 II and my wireless lav mic from Rode. What I tend to do is I use Reaper. If I open Reaper here, now the format that I record in is the camera is just native. It's a MOV file usually. So here in Reaper, I actually go into Insert and I use the media functionality. Let's go here. We're going to go to Run, Media, Shane, Media. This used to be my Linux or my Windows drive. So if I go here, I'm going to open this file here. Let's go back. As you can see, you have the waveforms and how they are. So if we just go here, let's move the playhead over. You hear a little bit of background noise in there.
I want to
as
talk
you can
about
see.
why I have completely...
Okay, but what I do is I do have some plugins installed. I'm just going to go to my FX here. I do use noise removal for voice, but I use the mono version. It works fairly good. So I'm just going to move this over here because it will stay on the screen. As you can see, it's very silent.
Welcome back. I want to talk about why I have completely wiped Windows.
Okay, that looks very good. This is just basic usage that I do. Now I'll do another one. It's clear the filter. Now I'm going to do master. I use the Master Me plugin, but I use the clap version of it. So it's the multi-threaded modern one. And you have these different presets here. You know, I tend to do like speech or YouTube. So if I go YouTube here and then we hit play, you see this information here.
Welcome back. I want to talk about why
you can see these are fairly level.
Wiped Windows off of
you can go into
my
expert
computer.
mode. As you can see, different things that I mess up.
Hi, welcome
so,
back. Today I want to
you have
talk
these
about
different
why
things.
I have completely gotten rid of Windows. Lately, I have been obviously
Apple.
trying to grow this channel with more Linux-focused content. But the main thing I did is I did remove Windows because Windows has been becoming more of a distraction.
There isn't a huge amount,
because I had
but
to
if I
keep
do
going
this,
back and forth from Linux into Windows to get files
you hear that?
that were
And then
giving me issues copying over to Linux. So I backed up everything and I actually went ahead and
you get a lot of
deleted
the source file is quieter
and have formatted the
then
drive.
You turn it on,
Linux
it's much louder.
I actually have a video coming out about that.
I think I'll just use the Apple Podcast one.
I want to get more of a
but then
create more.
Let me stop this. You can look at the different settings and mess with it in expert mode. But for my uses, this does very, very good. I would say, though, if you're going to do a podcast type setup, use the speech or the podcast. Or you can use the YouTube one also.
Welcome back.
So, as you can see, I mess up a lot.
I have completely wiped Windows off of my computer.
Yeah, see, I mess up quite a bit here.
Hi, welcome back. Today I want to talk about why I have completely
But these are the two things that I do use.
Lately, I have...
So I'm going to stop that. I'm actually going to close this. These both are enabled right now. And then I tell it to render out a file. I will go to browse. And this is where it was going before. I'm going to go browse directory here and go back. I want to be in root, run, media, Shane. We're going to go into media, Linux. Now we're just going to leave it here. choose that directory for where the WAV file needs to go. It is untitled because I'm not saving the project, so I just leave it this way. I do change this though to 48. It is already using 24-bit, so I leave this way. And you could speed up your rendering if you have power management stuff enabled on your system. So like that. And then I just hit render one file and it will render it out. When it's done, we'll go ahead and pull it into DaVinci Resolve, where you can see me that I use the file and that it does line up with the video. But as you can see, the WAV file looks like a typical master from music. Instead of all these small peaks, it gets everything to the same levels. And the main reason I do this is when I'm editing, the less I use the AI tools in DaVinci Resolve for cleaning up audio, the faster the export happens in DaVinci Resolve. However, you can use this tool live, actually, the Master Me tool. If you're capturing audio in Reaper, you can use something like QJack or a QPW graph and route the audio from your mic into Reaper. Let the Reaper plugin do the mastering in real time and noise removal in real time. Then send the master bus from Reaper into the OBS mic auxiliary track. That works with your live streaming. However, I don't do that because I have all my plugins dialed in the way I want inside of OBS for this microphone I'm using. This, I'm just toying around a little more with pre-recorded stuff that is recorded with my Lumix S5 II. So I'm going to exit this. We're not going to save anything. If I go into DaVinci Resolve, I did download some footage from a Blackmagic Pixie's camera just to see how fast my AMD card can export it out. I'm just going to leave it an untitled project. Go into here. There's the WAV file, and here's the MOV from the camera. Just going to drag and drop that in, let it change the frame rate, and drag and drop this WAV file in. And as you can see, the file is H.264, 24 frames a second, linear PCM, 4 channels of audio because of the camera. But the key thing is this bit depth. This is 10-bit video from the Lumix S5 II, so it's in vlog format. So what I do is I'll actually just bring this, pull this in by itself, and actually what we could do, just to show the comparison, I'll pull the video with its audio and then pull in the audio from Reaper. And as you can see, the wave points are completely different. So let's see if I just go further down the line here, maybe here, I hit play.
And probably do.
Now we're hearing the audio only from from Reaper.
And probably do an equipment video regarding the equipment.
See how quieter that is?
Content. Now soon on this channel, I'm actually making some of different videos.
That is something I do, but it does speed up the rendering time by doing this to where I don't have to use the voice isolation and the dialogue leveler, all these settings in here. I probably do use the de-esser, however, and I might finagle the audio just a little bit to bring it into place the way I want it to be. But that is something I do once I do that and finish editing. I do just, render out the video at that point. I'll link these clips so they're together. You just get them where you want them, and then as you can see, has no problem scrubbing the audio. So, and obviously I'd like to dedicate all my processing power to color grading, because when you shoot 10-bit video, or eventually when I buy a Blackmagic Design camera, which would be 12-bit color, it speeds up the processing. And honestly, rendering out footage from a Blackmagic RAW from like the Pixie's 6K or the 12K, my video card with the FFmpeg export rendering plugin renders it out extremely fast. The 12-bit footage, including the 12K footage, it renders it and handles it very, very fast. And for obvious reasons, because these other formats that these cameras produce internally, they're delivery formats. They're not actually meant for video editing, unless it is a all intra frame, which even then it's still in a H.264, H.265. But this is just one of the different things I do for processing stuff under Linux. Utilizing Reaper to fix my audio is actually speeding up my editing process, because I just enable the plugins and then click render, and then I bring it in DaVinci Resolve and do all my editing, then render out of DaVinci Resolve, and then I'm done, other than doing thumbnails and everything else. But hopefully this helps people that are possibly wanting to do a better audio production workflow on their system that is fully software based. Maybe you don't want to invest a ton of money into physical hardware like physical compressors or mic preamps and stuff like that. With my microphone right now in OBS, you're hearing my custom filter set up inside of OBS, which there is a video on my channel. It's not a dedicated video. It's just my different things I do under Linux, but my filters are in there. Maybe I'll do a dedicated video on my OBS settings for audio production stuff inside of OBS. But like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.